Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon, Gary.
Just curious to see what type of plan is going ahead with you facing Chicago. You know that they're a point behind you in the table. We're not going to use cliches like must win, but since you haven't worked with your second win yet, how much pressure is on you and your team to try to get a result on Saturday?
Yeah, it's always pressure, but it's not only because of the table, because for ourselves. So we know now it's the first game from the last 10 games. It's an important part of the season. So it's prime time now in the season, and we know our spot in our table. So very important game, but at the end it's not a final now for the qualification players. But I agree, it's an important game, and we have to show our face, our quality, and then also our mentality for winning the game to get 3 points.
Next we go to Dan.
Good afternoon, Sandro. Hope you're doing well. Two questions. One, obviously you have to be aware of Hugo Kuipers and Zinkernagel. How difficult will they be to defend against? And is the club reached out to MLS regarding the Schwarz incident from the last match?
So the first question is, yeah, of course, they have the quality, especially then in the offensive line with their runs and good players in keeping the ball, and then with a lot of numbers in their box runs. But at the end, we have to defend all together. So what we have to improve, especially to the last game against Inter Miami, to have the highest pressure on the ball. That it's not so easy to play behind our backline. I think that's very important, and then also to be very serious, very strong in our box defending, and when we have our recoveries, to use our moments in our transition and to play with a lot of confidence with the ball without risk. That's clear, but to play with confidence, what we have seen a lot of times in our games, but with a clear direction. Then also with our deep runs, which is necessary to create our moments, to create our chances. And what I said at the beginning from Gary's first question is, the situation is clear. So it's the last 10 games now, and we are not now in a top position. That's clear. We are not in top 4, and then so we have to fight for the playoffs, for the qualification. So, but it's also a situation, and this is the message for all of us, that we can handle it. So we have the US Open Cup quarterfinal. That's a do-or-die game in August. Then next week beginning another competition, Leagues Cup, and the situation is clear now in our league. So we have to handle this situation. We can handle. That's a good message. We can handle the situation. It's not the first time that we feel pressure. And now it's a game on Saturday to prepare tomorrow our pre-match training, then our meetings, and then to be ready on the road against a really good team, against a good coach, good person. Then we have to be ready.
Next we go to Mark.
Hey, Coach.
What was the second question? Sorry, Mark. What was the second question?
It was about if MLS had about the Schwarz incident with you on the bench. If MLS had reached out about
the second, no, come, I can't. I don't want to answer the second question now about MLS or something like that. Sorry, Daniel. Sorry.
We go to Mark.
Hey, Coach. Hopefully these are two questions you can answer.
Of course.
First, the team has conceded early in many of the most recent matches. What's the challenge that they're having? Is it a lack of concentration? Is it simply poor play? So that's one. And then two, if you could talk to us about Gustav Berggren and how you see him fitting into the lineup, and when is he with the team yet, and when you'll see him integrated? Thanks.
Yeah, the first to answer the first question. I hope I don't forget then the second. So the first question to answer is, it's clear. It's not only 1 point, to be honest. It's not only 1 point. For example, when you see and when we analyze the first 2 goals which we concede against Inter Miami, it's then very simple only to talk about, okay, Sofo has to be ready and our center backs has to be more ready. But I think it's all together to be very strong, and in these moments, in these dangerous moments, top of the box, on the side, the crosses, set pieces, to feel the responsibility to block the shot, to block the final pass, to block the cross, to be concentrate in set pieces. I agree. That's then concentration to be very strong in these duels. And this is, I think, these are the points. And it's not only one point that would be very easy directly to change. But on the other side, all these points, we have seen this so many times in a really good quality. And this is our basic behavior. And first of all, when we are talking about our ball position, we have to do our job very seriously in our defense behavior, and it starts with our strikers, then with our midfield players on the side, our winger players, then our back line. This is very important to start all together, not to bring our guys in a 1-against-1 situation in a big space, because then it's always possible to lose a 1-against-1 duel against good quality. It makes more sense for us, for our philosophy, to bring our players in situations where you can lose a duel, but next to him, around the ball, directly is the next player that he's able to win this duel. And I think that's very, very important for us in our identity, how we want to defend. And the second, I said the second is Gustav. Yeah, we have to wait, first of all, of his visa process. It starts right now with his contract. And and then we can clear talking about him when he's here, when he's joining our training session, and then to adapt our principles. But it's clear, as a central midfield player, 6 or 8, good box-to-box runs, and able to play the final pass, able to be in a box position to score. So physically in a really good spot. But at the end, let's talk when he's here, when he arrives here after his visa process. And this is, I don't know, to be honest. As quick as possible, hopefully.
Next, we go to Luca.
Coach, we've seen you experiment with some different formations in recent months. Has that experimentation been fruitful for you? Have you settled on something you like, or are you comfortable going between different styles and different formations game to game?
No, for me, it was not an experimentation, to be honest. This is nothing new, nothing special. So we played against the ball with most of the time with a back 4. So then different positions in our build-up. So, but when I know it's more when you are looking to Sofo's position, I'm pretty sure you mean that. So, but he played so many times as a winger. So on the right side, on the left side as a striker, and normally it's clear. And when you build up with 3, then could be also that he is then in a position as a wing back on the side in a 1-against-1 situation. So to be honest, it's nothing new or experiment. So Kyle Duncan, for example, he played so many games also as a left back. So nothing new for him. But we did it as a team, not in some games, in some moments. I don't want to talk about the whole game now against Miami also. We started very well, first 15, 20 minutes, then the second half as well. So more our momentums, our moments, to keep these moments for longer distance. I think that's important, and but we will have a clear structure. And to be flexible as well in our structure. We were last year so flexible in our structure, but always the same principle. What we want to see, very aggressive, very intensive against the ball, and to be very flexible when we have the ball, to build up with 2, to build up with 3, to 1-6, 2-6, 1-6, 2-8. So that's what we have to look for, and to find the best solution for Saturday.
Next, we go to Gary.
The team is relatively healthy, except for 3 guys: Morgan, Harper, Doma. We know Harper's not going to be around until 2026.
Gary, we couldn't really hear you. You kind of went lower there towards the end. All right, Gary, we'll come back to you.
But I think I can answer.
Yeah.
So Luis Morgan is clears out. Cam Harper is clear out. Then Victor Bogac is questionable. he made only individual program. And Sejong Gomar was now since yesterday in our team training session. That's it, I think. Yeah.
We have time for 2 more questions, Coach. First, we'll go to Dan, then we'll finish up with Mark. Dan, you have the floor.
I just wanted to ask you, Sandro, about Dylan Nelis. Obviously, only gave him a couple of minutes in the last match. How happy are you to finally see him back out there? And will he get a little bit more minutes coming off the bench this upcoming Saturday's match?
Yeah, we will see. So everyone who's could be sitting on the bench, you can't. Of course, we are looking always when we decide for a starting lineup. Okay, what could be an option? If we need more in our defense behavior, something, or do we need goals then in our offense, like against New England, for example, second half. We are always thinking about before the game. So when he is sitting on the bench, then we will see how the game goes, and or he's able to play on Saturday then at directly in our starting lineup. This is a decision, but he's now very close. That's clear. Good training session. Last 2-3 days, and which is very important to have this competition on each position, to fight for the first of all to fight for the position to be in the starting lineup. But when it's on match day, then we have to take the decision. But then to be very clear, to have the clear focus for the whole group, to push the whole group, and this is a responsibility as well then for the players who's sitting on the bench on match day. And this is, we will see how will be the decision for Saturday.
And we'll finish up with Mark.
Coach, I want to talk about the 3 competitions that you're playing in over the rest of the season while you're trying to make the MLS Cup playoffs. I mean, both Open Cup and Leagues Cup provide you paths to the Champions Cup for next year. But a little different from last year, from where you are in the league at this point, where you were kind of in this band, and like, are these other competitions a distraction for you guys? Would you rather just be playing in the league?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So, but I would say when we are looking and compared to the last season, for example, and we talked before the season as well in our press conference. So each competition is for us is a good chance to create our moments, to create our emotions for the whole club. So it starts with US Open Cup, and of course, everyone knows what happened last season. So we played the final, and when we are looking to our points, now we have I think 33 points after 24 games, 10 games to go. So last season we had, after 25 games, 37 points. So I think we won the last game against Cincinnati before we starting the Leagues Cup. So we had at the same time, I would say, similar 34, 35 points like this. So it's not a big difference, but the feeling, and I agree 100% with all of you guys, it's different because when you're on a 9th place in the table, it's different because when you're looking to the table and you are 5th or 6th or 4th, like last year. But when you're only looking to the points, it's different. We scored more goals right now than last season, but I agree, we concede too many goals in different ways, especially in set pieces. This is what we have to improve. So what I want to say is, in my answer is, we can handle the situation. We can really handle the situation. And of course, it's not the best feeling, especially our games on the road. We know this topic, and I'm really surprised that you don't ask about that, but we can talk really open about it. So we played 12 games, home games, 26 points. So that's top. That's really, really top. And but we also played 12 games on the road. This is only 7 points. So then you see completely what we have to improve, especially then. And this is compared with the numbers, with everything. And when you don't play so dominant in each game on the road, then you need your transition moments. So, and especially on the road. And this is, I think that's a big part, and that we lost some points on the road. And this is the picture of the season today, and this is a good message. Each game is the next chance to change your feeling, to change your emotions, to change your atmosphere, everything. and the chance is on Saturday in Chicago. So to show our quality, and normally, and I said this to the guys as well, it's 11 against 11. Nothing changed. The only thing is the stadium a little bit around the pitch, but nothing changed. It's always the same rules, same referee, same fourth official. So, but you are playing 11 against 11, then you have to be ready in your intensity. I think that's a big part. And then next week, Leagues Cup. After that, again, MLS games, but now 10 games to go. A big chance. Next step for qualification playoffs. So we were last year in the final. We know how important it is for us, and to write the story. We won a title last year, and for sure we want again to be very successful with the whole group for our club.